So a few days ago, I was just sort of inventorying my clothing because I need to make some decisions for my closet. It's that time, which A is very exciting, but two, it's like kind of a lot because, I have a lot of clothes. And the kidlets were helping me out. And Soap and Clay kidlet number one found this shirt that she gave me last year for Christmas. And she was like, "Hey, mom, I haven't seen you wear this except for like one time." And, fair point. I haven't worn it because it shows a lot of boobage and a lot of belly. And there are just some people on the internet that really have to tell me that they get a case of the vapors whenever they see boobage. And so I'm really, I'm slouched down right now. I'm totally squatting, trying to make sure that the boobage doesn't accidentally show up on the internet and, ruin your entire day. But my kidlet pointed out that I haven't worn her beautiful gift that she gave me in a while, so I had to wear it. Of course I did. That's what's going on with me. And also, side note, be prepared for a lot of conversations about my clothing again because I'm seeing them all again, and that's all. And that has nothing whatsoever to do with what we are doing this week or today or any of those things, but I will tell you what we are doing in just a minute. But before I do, hello, I am Mrs. Soap and Clay. Let's make stuff. Seriously, the squatting is making me so uncomfortable. How's it going, sudsers? Welcome back to the channel. You are at Soap and Clay, where we make all the soapy things. And you are here for week 12 of year 3. And this week we are doing some cheeky FAQs. Because we get a lot of questions within the channel comments, as well as within emails, and just random questions in general that you see across the soaping forums. Don't know why I'm doing that. About things that you can't really answer, or I can't anyway, in just a comment, like a response to a comment online. And so for some of those, it requires like a whole ass playlist in order to answer a question. And in others, it really does just require a comment. And then others still, there's that happy medium where a comment won't do. A deep dive is not necessary, but we should talk about, it anyway in a cheeky little short video. So that's what we are doing today. We will be doing a soap stamping video while I talk about whether or not you can make soap at home. Like whether or not you can run your business at home. And as some of you may know, I have been on my HOA board for a number of years, mostly to just get rid of the atrocious human beings that were on it and, trying to rule the neighborhood with an iron fist and rules that didn't exist. And I definitely have a pretty good working knowledge of the covenants that I operate under within my HOA that are usually pretty similar to other people's covenants, as well as the RCWs that govern my state. So I can speak to this, but do keep in mind that there are certain things that you need to look for in your particular state, HOA, jurisdiction, what have you. Let's get to the video. We can talk about running a business and cottage laws and all of those things, there. Okay, so first up, when wondering whether or not you can actually have a business at home, the first thing you should never do is ask that question online because everybody lives in different places. So you're going to get a million answers and they're all going to be confusing. But hopefully this video will help you in your research so you can figure out where exactly it is you need to look in order to determine whether or not your home-based soapy business is legal. Number one, know where you live. And this seems pretty self-explanatory, but yeah, take your address, plug it into your assessor's, property search if you own a home, or even if you don't and you're renting, or, check it out on your county or your city's map to determine the zoning area in which you live. Which takes us to step 2 and 3, really. Look up your city and or county zoning laws based on the zone that you live in, because those zoning requirements do change depending on how they're actually classified. For example, me, even though I live right outside the city, I am not considered, as part of the city. My zoning requirements, i.e. what I can do in a residential area, might be different than what the city proper says. I live in an unincorporated county area. That's what I'm classified as. And so I need to follow those rules within my specific zone. So now that I have determined that I do not live in city proper, I need to look at my county zoning laws, again, specifically tied to the actual zone that I live in, that they have deemed, necessary for me. Keep in mind, though, that the majority of municipalities in 2023 do have some law on the books right now that allows you to have a home-based business. Now, these laws actually started with the cottage food laws kind of back in the day, and they have since expanded to include, us soap makers who kind of fall into this gray area of, well, we're kind of manufacturing, but we're definitely not food industry, so where do we fit? Because if you're wondering whether or not you can actually make soap at home, you are going to be actually, within some sort of residential category, whether it's a single family dwelling or a multifamily dwelling or, an apartment complex, those sorts of things. So you're going to be looking within the residential category, not within the commercial, because that's not what your, registers as, that's not what your zone is. But there are rules that allow you to make or have a business within a residential area. Really, the big reason why you need to determine your zone is to determine whether or not you need to follow rural laws or urban laws, because both residential and because they can be different. All of this information, again, is found through your county assessor's map that, just tied to your address, or through your city and or county, just governmental pages. Easy to find, type in your address. I even checked my old home address when I was a child in the middle of nowhere, Colorado, and they have all of that information online today too. You've determined what your zone is, you now need to look up the laws, either city or county, rural or urban, to determine whether or not you can have a home-based business, a soap making business, out of your home. And I think I can do this next part without completely doxing myself, so let's try. So let's just go through my zoning laws. Now, as you can see here with Zoning Answers, you can contact your planning and development offices. I suggest you go through all of this first and don't do it unless you're real confused, because if you're already running a business, you're now on their radar because you have to give them information and they may fine you before you have an opportunity to shut your business down and or move it to a different facility. So keep that in mind. As you can see, the Pierce County Zoning Code is available online, an accessory development to a residential property, and this goes through a whole bunch of stuff that you can do. So bed and breakfasts and all of the things, right? But also it has there the home occupation, which is what it's actually called in, my state and my county is home occupation. In other places, it's called home-based business. Those are the laws surrounding it. In other places, it's cottage law. But as I said, most municipalities have something on the books right now to allow us to have a business out of our home. And so this is where you would find anything that you could possibly ever want to do with your property. I find this interesting. Any combination of 5 dogs or cats. I didn't realize it was a combination. I thought it was 5 each. But yeah, it's good information to have just generally looking up your zoning codes because it's fun. But when it goes down to, the actual, daycare is fun too, but the home occupation, this is where we're going to find the laws for our businesses. So it says home occupation and cottage industry may be allowed provided the following standards are met. But it says, obviously you have to follow some rules. It shall not create noticeable glare, noise, odor, vibration beyond the property lines. Pay attention to that. We will talk about that later when I start talking about HOAs and their overreach, really. Activities need to be performed completely inside the residence, an accessory structure, or a combination of the two. So that says don't make your soap, on your front lawn. Structures used for a cottage industry shall comply with building and fire codes. Okay, we get that. The activity shall be clearly incidental and secondary to the residential use of the property and shall not change the residential character of the dwelling or neighborhood. That basically says, you live here first. You did not move a business into a residential area, and you're not going to make it look like it's a strip mall. Here's where it really matters. Manufacturing shall be limited to the small-scale assembly of already manufactured parts, but does not preclude production of small, individually handcrafted items, furniture, or other wood items. Does not preclude production of small, handcrafted items. Preclude means prevent. Does not prevent. There you go. Soap business in Pierce County, A-OK. And actually also has information about customers being allowed. So you could actually have a retail facing, soap business in your home in my county. Signage is regulated. It basically says no signage in residential. Talks about off-street property. Hazardous materials or equipment must comply with the requirements of the IBC and the IFC. And that's just standard, you be careful with your hazardous materials. Also, people who think that lye is a hazardous material, you need to look up lye, because it is, but it's really in really high amounts for all of these codes. So it does say in the rest of this, it goes on to talk about what your home occupation is and your levels within the cottage industry. I have a memory of the cottage industry in Washington State actually relating to food, but maybe not. And maybe it's just the size of the actual, business. But regardless, there are rules based on how big your footprint is essentially and what you have to do. So within Pierce County, the laws that govern my zone say that it is completely fine and within said laws to run a soap business out of one's home. And the reason I really wanted to go through all of this is because, we've all heard about the Royalty Soaps debacle where the town she lived in basically sucks and really doesn't let any of it, apparently, in city limits. To that, we're also going to look at Gig Harbor's, laws on house businesses. But that happened. And then recently there have been a ton of people online asking about, can I do this in my, home or whatever, as well as stuff within the Discord talking about, a neighbor saying things smelled or whatever. And a lot of bad information has been given online. Not in the Discord, because the Discord, the membered sudsers are amazing. But I thought it was a good idea to actually look through some of this stuff so you have an idea of where you can find this information in your particular, environment, in your area, so you don't get caught unawares like Katie Carson or, anyone else. Know your rights. Knowing your rights is power, and that's what you're going to need to come equipped with if you need to push back against someone claiming you can't do something. Again, don't ever just trust what somebody says online about this. Look this stuff specifically up for yourself, because your state, your county, your city, it's going to be different than mine. But as we can see within the Gig Harbor city proper, it's allowed. It has a little bit different wording, it's sort of discouraged, but begrudgingly encouraged. I really like this: emit no noise, air pollutants, waste products, etc. to the environment or neighborhood beyond those normally emanating from residential use. That little, highlighted bit there ties perfectly into the next thing that you need to look for when you are determining whether or not you can legally have a soap business in your home. And that is number 5, review your HOA covenants. Because while it may say in your city zoning laws, while it may say in your county zoning laws that it is completely on the up and up again to have a home-based business making soap, your HOA covenants may have something that prohibits all businesses. Or if you have a bunch of assholes on your HOA board or within your community, they may try to use other covenants against you and claim, well, it's smelly and I don't like it, or, whatever. It is very important to review your HOA covenants before proceeding and, opening a business or starting to make soap as your business in your home. Side note, fighting with the HOA is my most favorite pastime. And yes, I'm also on the HOA board because that's the best way to fight them from within. And so if you guys have any you need any assistance with research and ways to clap back at a mean HOA, hit me up in Discord, because I love that research and I love those battles. Anyway, so as an example, a member of my community attempted to shut down a business that was in my neighborhood, claiming that this other homeowner had violated our covenants because our covenants prohibit all businesses, which is not what our covenants state. They state that the business cannot be offensive to the immediate neighbors. And since all the immediate neighbors came to this business's defense and said, no, it's not an annoyance, we had to Then follow all of the rules of the land, and the rules of the land allow for home-based businesses. If our covenants had specifically stated no businesses under any circumstances, then yeah, that business would have been in violation. So definitely read your covenants, know your covenants, read them all so you know when to fight them, because sometimes it is worth pushing back against a covenant that you read differently. And just keep all of that in mind. There are a lot of things at play in whether or not a home-based business is legal, and it all has to do with literally where you live. I mean, I'm talking, I guess, specifically about state and county laws, so the United States, but this applies to the world over. You have laws and ordinances that govern the way you can live. So pay attention to all of those before making your decision to, start your home-based business, just so you know that you are free and clear and doing something that you are allowed to do. And luckily that information is easy to find in 2023. So that takes me to number 6, stay up to date. You have the tools, you have the resources to check with your ordinances, to check with the laws in your county and state, to join the board and change the CC&Rs. Harder process. That's a different story for, a drunk members only live, really. But you have the ability to watch these things all of the time, especially right now, post-COVID. All of the municipalities that maybe don't have any sort of options for a home-based business, being forced to rethink their laws and, their codes and zoning rules after we spent 2 years doing all of our work from home. And many of us, in fact, realized throughout that process that working from home seems like a really fun thing. That, and again, it's 2023. And for people that are places that don't have, laws that allow home-based businesses, that hits Twitch streamers, because that's a home-based business. That hits accountants. That hits any number of us that have LLCs and whatnot out there we aren't necessarily using right now, but are registered to our home while we, get ready to use said LLC. Like an example of that would be the beer company that Mr. Webman and Mr. Soap and Clay want to do. You get it. It's not just about the manufacturing, although with soap, that does create a secondary problem, but the laws are changing or have changed to accommodate for all of that. So again, stay informed. Look up all this stuff, know your laws, know your rights before you just start, believing everything that you see on a Facebook forum, because that is confusing. And there it is, a cheeky FAQ on whether or not you can legally run your soap business out of your home. And as I said within the video, the first thing is to check your county laws as well as your HOAs if you are under one of them. But because so many states have cottage laws, and most people in 2023 have some sort of business that is technically attached to their house, it's probably pretty likely that you're going to be able to do that within the United States. That said, I am not familiar with the laws that exist outside of the United States, so definitely make sure to check those out. First places that you go are obviously going to be your county websites, your state websites, and again, any governing documents that you may have in place for your HOA. And as I said in that video, definitely pay attention to the wording of your covenants, because if everything says it's okay in your state and your county, and the only thing you have is the HOA that's arbitrarily saying that you can't have a business, but the wording actually says you can't have a business that does these specific things, yeah, challenge them. I have found in my tenure on the HOA board that no covenants ever make sense, and you can argue your way around most of them. So there's that. But be responsible, check it out before you even start making soap within your home or whatnot. But there it is. But I will see you all again tomorrow for more, FAQs, but also more sponsorship information and all of that rounds of soapy fun. Bye.